Hi, Osmar.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining me for this interview today. So, for those of you watching, this is Osmar. He's my friend, and he is a part of the cast of our new web series, Virtual Love and Lockdown. And I'm going to ask him some questions today. So, our first question for today is, can you just introduce yourself, let everyone watching know who you are, what your role in the show is, and where you're located?
Awesome. Yes. My name is Osmar Martinez. Um, my role in the show is Pablo, and I come out in episode 5 in the speed dating scene. And I am currently located in a border town in Texas. It's called Roma, Texas. But I am originally from Nueva Ciudad Guerrero, Tamaulipas, Mexico, which is also another border town. Um, yeah.
Awesome. Very good, very good. And yes, so you play the role of Pablo, and he's a hoot. So I want to know, what is your character like? I want you to just tell the audience a little bit without giving too much away. And then to
Mhm.
follow up on that, how are you similar and how are you different to your character?
Okay. Yeah. I think I think we relate so much just because what he does in the scene is something that I would definitely do. Um and everyone would see once we watch the scene. But I think how we relate to each other is how we see everything in a comic way.
Mm,
How we both have the skill of being bilingual and talk Spanish and English, um, and also we how tired we are of people watching us as stereotypes in America.
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That totally makes sense. Yeah, so I think that the biggest thing when I was casting the role, I was like, oh my gosh, sense of humor. Like, you're so lighthearted, and so is he. He just like wants to have a fun time and like be who he is. And I love that about you and the character. So, for those of you watching this now, just wait and see how funny Pablo is. Um, but yeah, I think you being bilingual is a huge similarity, and I think it's also something that we need to see more in film and TV, because so
Mhm.
many people up in the United States speak more than like one language, and across the world. I mean, I think people in the US think it's all about English, 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 but I think it's important to see more of these roles. So, and it's just funny because these kinds of moments happen in real life all the time without giving anything away. When you're like speaking a language and you're like, oh, this person speaks another language. Oh, I didn't know that. So I feel like definitely like a real world relatable experience. Um, and going back to you being bilingual, what was it like working in Spanish and English? What was it like acting in both languages?
Mhm. It was great. It was a dream come true, honestly, just because the whole thing with acting and being an artist is to express ourselves and to be able to express myself not only in one language but in the both languages that I know. It's just something that I want to do and I want to continue doing because I express myself this way. If in a normal day with my friends, I usually, and I have done this with you. I'm talking and suddenly I just speak Spanish
Yeah.
because that's just how I think. Sometimes I think in English, sometimes I think in Spanish. So
Yeah.
to be able to express myself in this way with this script is just a dream come true. So
That's
thank you for that.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't have had it any other way. I love it so much. And like me also being a Spanish speaker, I think it's so important to have these kinds of roles. And so having you be able to do that was really awesome. And I already know the answer to this question. Do you want to act more in Spanish? Obviously, you do. You just said so. And I hope that we can work together um, in
Yes.
Spanish on a project. I know we have some things in the works. So, for those of you watching, stay tuned. If you're bilingual, you speak Spanish or any other language, Osmar and I are going to be working on some Spanish content soon. So, um, so my next question is, I mean, we've worked together before, just so
Hmm.
everybody watching knows. We actually met acting in a different production, and it was so fun. It was a virtual production just like this. So, obviously, Osmar, you're very well versed in virtual acting at this point. So, what I want to know is what was it like filming remotely for this project? And, like, have you gotten into a groove with virtual acting gigs?
Yes, yes, I have gone into a groove. So pretty much, just having a good sound, good lighting, good background. But also the weird thing is, well, there's two things that I want to talk about. One is whenever we filmed the Alpha Complex for the reading, um, we it's just so amazing how the energy that you usually feel in the rehearsal room or in a set,
Mm-hmm.
we just feel it even if it's online. That's the magic of creating and acting and doing scene work. So that's one thing. It's nothing. I mean, it's very different, but the energy feels the same if you're 100% committed to your role and your acting partners and everything. And another thing is that we have to make an extra step to actually make friendships in the environment, because we have been in this situation where we're doing a project, but I don't know anything about this person unless I put the effort to get to know them, to follow them on social media, and to FaceTime, or even just talk online, because
Mm-hmm.
this is how everything's working nowadays. Everything's online. So that's the way we connect as humans, not only as scene partners, but as humans, because I think it's important to just have that connection and to make that extra step to connect with
Yeah,
your partners.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. I feel like just as people right now, with the way that the world is, we we're like craving human connection, and we
Hmm.
have to get that virtually right now. And so I think, like you said, connecting on social media and having even like this Zoom interview that we're doing right now is just, it's nice to be able to talk to somebody else. And I can feel
Yeah.
your energy and your presence, kind of like how you were saying. For those of you watching, we did a virtual staged reading of another piece that I wrote called The Alpha Complex, which we're actually fully producing soon. Osmar's in it. Um, but our cast, like we really could feel the energy and the bond and the connection, even though it was through a screen, and it feels different in a lot of ways because we all were very committed, like you said. You have to be 100% committed, and we cared about the text and we cared about each other. It really worked out, and you could really like feel the the energy between not only the actors and the characters but just people. So I think, virtual acting has definitely like changed the game in a lot of ways. And I think um, we all have to realize when we go back to, you know, the way it was before, which it's going to be very different. But
Hmm.
I think we all need to remember what this has taught us about um, just human connection and like being understanding, because this has been a really difficult, challenging time for a lot of people. But I think it's also taught us a lot of really valuable lessons about friendship and simply just speaking to another human and human contact, and also just that not everything is so serious because things happen in life and we're living in a pandemic. But we have to make the best of it. We have to, you know, try our best. So I think what you said was really spot on, spot
Thank you.
on. um, so my next question is, what are 3 words to describe either your character specifically or the show as a whole?
I think 3 words are fun, real life um,
Mhm.
situations.
Yeah.
So something you can relate to. And it's also very new.
Mm. Okay,
Like,
so fun, relatable. That's what I'm hearing. Relatable and new, or like fresh.
yeah, fresh, exactly. Because, this is all new work, and the way we're working, it's all new.
Yeah.
And it's, and the filming, it's also very real because these things actually happen in real life, and this is
Mm.
how it's actually happening in reality. So
Yes.
it's yeah.
I mean, like these experiences are based off of, all the dates are based off of real things that have happened to me or my friends, and so it's definitely real.
Hmm.
And I think, yeah, fresh in the sense that like we're all new to this way of creating art, but it's exciting and fun. So like you
Hmm.
said, fun. I feel like the words that you use describe your character really well and the show. So I feel
Hmm.
like it just kind of encompasses everything. My last question for you today is, if you could tell the audience watching right now one thing before they watch the show, what would it be?
Sit down and enjoy. Just
That's
kind of two
great.
things, but
No,
yeah.
like take it all in.
Hmm.
That's a
Yeah,
good.
it's gonna be a good time.
Yes, that's true. It's going to be a good time. I think like everybody will be able to relate to it in some sort of way, or at least laugh. So
Hmm.
that's really good advice. Just enjoy it. Don't go in with too many expectations, but see what happens.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this interview. It was so great talking to you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for writing this incredible stories, and I'll see you soon again.
Okay, amazing. So for those of you watching, I was speaking with Osmar, the amazing actor playing Pablo in Virtual Love and Lockdown. And Virtual Love and Lockdown is premiering on April 20th. The very first episode is coming out that day, and we're gonna have each episode come out every week following. So it's gonna be like a few weeks of just fun. So stay tuned. And thanks again, Osmar. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.